Now, what can you tell me about these three things? They all use the body to heal. That's the common denominator. But because the third way is from the outside, we make the mistake of thinking it holds more answers than the first two. Let me tell you why that's a mistake. What do you suppose would happen if you performed brain or heart surgery on someone who just recently died? You already know the answer. Nothing. Healing has always been an inside job, and we should know this. But instead of using the first two ways, which heal the body from the inside, we jumped to the outside way, because we've been trained to think that's the only option. You know, they actually have a name for this. It's called ritualistic medicine, which means we've done the same thing for so long that we no longer question whether it's right or wrong. Yet, I got to tell you, we've fallen in love with the newest technology and the latest gadgets. So if we can slap in a new heart or an artificial joint, hooray! We think we are darn close to solving the healthcare problems of mankind, right? Wrong. If we were living even 10 or 20 years longer in this country as a result of medical intervention, I might agree with you, and I wouldn't have to give this talk. Did you know that a person who survived the hazardous years of childhood in the beginning of the 1900s in this country lived nearly as long as we do today without modern medicine? It's true. You might just want to consider studying our history of medicine and how it came into prominence. It's described in this book, by the way, written by an MD of all things. Talk about the perfect storm of events leading to a false conclusion. It also goes on to explain why we are in the mess we're in and who really deserves the credit in the healing world. The answer will surprise you, and it's not your medical doctor. Read pages 1 through 32 especially. You might just want to highlight some of those parts. What else can you tell me about these three things? Unlike the third way, the first two use prevention as a way to keep you from getting into trouble in the first place. Would you be surprised to learn that the bulk of your medical doctor's training is geared to go to work on you only once you have a problem? To illustrate this, when was the last time you got a prescription or had a surgery when you didn't have a problem? Rarely. See what I mean? Yet they call it healthcare. That's a stretch. I say, call it what it truly is: health problem management. Whatever happened to prevention? The first two can prevent problems from happening in the first place, but the reality is that it is not something we've been trained to do. A quick but useful example to illustrate prevention's importance: the timely preventative placement of a single stop sign attracts less attention and therefore funding than the heroics of a trauma surgeon. But let me ask you this: which ultimately saves more lives? Why, the stop sign, of course. And who gets the credit? Why, the medical doctor. Practicing prevention in the healthcare arena is truly that important to your health. Yet, can you envision all sorts of medical TV shows over the years devoted to stop signs, rather than shows where the doctor is portrayed as the superhero and the answer to all our really important healthcare problems? Me neither.